We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it. Artificial means. Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. Auntie, perhaps you should start us off.
From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
Not completely sure you can convince me that Auntie's choice benefits from receiving 0 access to that wondrous little doodad. Easier still with a moon-sized computronic calculator expediting our strategic initiatives, but fine enough. I am willing to bend slightly, on this point at least.
The Order is pleased to accept our mediator's wisdom in this matter.
Yes, the Order can keep their contraption, but the management of skip drives should be under the purview of Auntie's choice. No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards.
This is far from the outcome the Order would prefer. However, as long as we hold the archive, reverse engineering the skip drive technology should be well within our capabilities, as would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Certainly, but nothing I'm not prepared to suffer.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. You sound just like Laureate Beckett. I weary of having this debate, especially as I can never seem to win it. Very well. Never mind about the chemicals. Now is not the time for risky experimentation at any rate.
Oh, bother. Here I wanted to see Ruth lobotomize herself. Oh, well. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Can't believe I just watched peace made between the Order and Auntie's choice. Seems like a dream I'd have after eating too many woolly curds.
See that spire? That's the archive right there. The archive.
You're the one responsible for us working with these short-sighted consumerists, hmm? Well, better additional than subtractional, I surmise. It is time, yes, that we commit our forces to your intended assault on Spireton? The predicted hour/minute/second has arrived. Onward to Spireton.
Anomalous anomaly! Hostile ordnance! Huh? Appreciate
Ratcheting up by aggression.
the broadside of a sprayer!
Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Taking cover! Damn your nose! None shall hide from us!
Guns cocked and loaded. Barton's ours.
Ah, I see you didn't even require us. Arrival was scheduled for the optimum moment. Apparently we're meant to hold fire, not sit and wait. Commences. Investigating disturbance. Aborting search. See that man?
Yes?
That man is a captain.
Spireton has changed hands several times now, but our data suggests this should be the last.
Sealed. Protecting its work, no doubt. Isn't there supposed to be a way to unseal this near the archive's entrance?
As predicted, Spireton is ours. Above average work. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have numerous calculations to think about.
I would query if your day has been positive, but so few folks visit me if their integers are advantageous. So, how can I help? Of course. I am still replenishing my inventory, but you are welcome to anything I have available.
dictates,
Given how entrenched the Protectorate are here, we ought to consider a strategy. Crossing our fingers don't count.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate seal for their assigned work?
Now the Spiraton's ours. We should look for some way to access the lift controls. Call the cavalry down from within.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are...
All right, it's a plan.
Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
we repel invasive elements.
Are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all...
Got my left on an
Guard making a mess of things again?
Prudence dictates we cherish
Hostile
all we
stinger.
have and defend it.
I, too, would never question the paradigm.
Let me know when you get it. Nobody around. Can't just shoot in the thin air.
Thank you.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Gray gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides the system of...
Proceeding to attack. Standing by to stupefy. Commander, drop the energy your way.
This area's been picked over, and I bet whoever's responsible has our missing part.
Someone tapping into the power here?
Forever vigilant.
sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. Likely I have. Was there a big console that looked like somebody just unceremoniously yanked the innards free? If so, yep, that was me. I might be convinced to part with them for a small favor. Some key legwork for a mighty hunter. Me, I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. As much as I appreciate the compliment, such work is beneath someone of my skills. Accomplished hunters like me are well known to enlist aid from peons, underlings, and guides. The rule of fair chase does apply, for without our ethics, how are we much more than beasts ourselves? Appreciate you for reminding me that. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved for, company.
Some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals, coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Spotted. The cavalry's just rolled in.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Dropping the fight out of them, knocking them down. I'll handle this. Validated.
Assessing.
Talk about a feat of industrial engineering. The skill alone. Stick close, Commander. Wouldn't want you wandering off and getting lost.
is in those rations? Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Pardon us if we don't shake hands later.
You were mentioning some non-protectorate medicament? Afraid I don't know what that is, but I trust a protectorate medicament would be superior. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. I suppose it is part ceremonial item, part computronical key. Grants special access across the archive by transmitting a series of advanced calculations when waived. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. It will no doubt earn me mental refreshment, perhaps worse. But this way, I retain some measure of hope. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Is there a protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather woogly. Ah!
Calcaduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Organizing replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. Effectively, that is correct. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
A little percussive maintenance might not be out of place here. I've got a wrench might do some good.
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperatives. Tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols are likewise similarly affected.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
What approximates its mind has become trifurcated.
One would assume that calamity enough. But wait, there's more.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. No, not when I can guide others out of worry and doubt, to supplement themselves to the needs of the community.
Not when there are bits to be made. We're talking monetary units left on the table here.
The theorized method to purge myself of my erring others is slightly more involved. To avoid the requisite downtime, I endeavor to work around them. For now. Well, my naysaying fuss budget, only one way to see. Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Auntie's Choice operators. I am afraid that no is a mathematical certitude, despite the Protectorate and Auntie's Choice best efforts to prove otherwise.
Though must say, I admire your drive. Some issues require the conspicuous application of force, such as a fractional reduction in output or descent.
I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
Inverting targeting protocols. There, any Protectorate still on the ground level is now being fired upon. Permissions within other areas of the archive are locked, however.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
Subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work. Report them for
It don't seem like these corpses fell to blade or gunfire. Cold got them first.
looks friendly. Or not protectorate, at least. Watch yourself. You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? What? Oh, you must be another case of hypothermia. Extreme prolonged exposure to the cold certainly does terrible things to our brain. It's because the archive controls the surface lifts, which are the only way in or out. And once the Protectorate retook the machine, they locked out all external access. Now, for more than a month, we've all been trapped in these caves, Order and Antes alike, scrounging for food, huddling for warmth, and desperately trying to stay alive. You're what? How? The odds of you successfully doing what our whole army could not is, well, it's preposterously small. Yet, here you are. Regardless, if we are to maximize your odds of success, you should at least let us share our intelligence with you. You'll want to speak with Provost Finch inside that building to the northeast. She has a better understanding of all the variables in play. Though I would be absolutely ecstatic to offer you any information I have that would increase the odds of your success. May the universal equation's final tally see us all escaping this frozen prison.
Desperate times certainly make for strange bedfellows.
My scouts reported significant activity in the archive, followed by a mysterious figure emerging from it, which was obviously you. A notion that fills me with questions. So many, in fact, that I have precious little idea on where to start in the asking. I don't suppose you would care to enlighten me as a beginning to our discourse? You took the archive? On your own? That's quite a feat. Even after combining our forces, we've been unable to accomplish anything close to that. My name is Provost Finch, and I've been appointed as leader of this motley band. Correct. At first, we were antagonists, warring against each other and the Protectorate. But then, the Protectorate locked the lifts and doors, trapping us all beneath the ice. With no escape or access to resupply, continuing to kill each other made scant sense. So, I reached out to their commander under a flag of truce and suggested a temporary alliance. We would pool our food, warmth, and resources while here, and could go back to killing each other if and when we make it to the surface again. Over a month, and we made peace about a week later. I held off a bit, needing to really take stock of the direness before making my offer. Hardly. It took days and days of getting more and more close-fisted with our resources before we decided to set terms. But it's a good thing we did. We'd all be dead otherwise. Of course. All we have to do is fight our way into the breaker room and turn the lift and door access back on. But we've lost dozens in that attempt. Now, we wait, having calculated that the odds of rescue being greater than our chances of successfully assaulting those defending automechs with ever-diminishing resources. Thank you, stranger. Perhaps it's just my desperation speaking, but since you somehow made it down here, placing my faith in you seems like a preordained outcome. Good luck.
If you're looking for snow or ice, I've got all you could ever want. My inventory of everything else is a little sparse, however. I'm sure one way or another, we can strike some kind of deal.
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point.
Welcome to our misbegotten little camp. Pardon any blood or sick you might spot. Our janitorial tech died of ague a fortnight past. I'm the volunteer Sawbones here. Say, wandering type like you probably knows a bit about medicine. I hope. Oh, thank the law. I've always thought the same. Wait, let's focus on my patients before you start playing alienist. I'm on the lookout for a medicine sachet, but I can't leave the folk here. I ask if you had the know-how, because I need someone who can identify it proper. If it's anywhere, it's going to be over in the storage building. Some other Auntie's Choice folk took the place over, and they're about as keen on sharing as I am on being a Sawbones. But I'm sure they're the only danger you'll face. Aside from the man-eating ursopods, bitter cold, precarious pits, and occasional landmines. Good luck.
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point. Just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
So, you want me to take off your... Take off your top and lather you in cold water just...
Who are you kidding? If you ain't cutthroat enough to turn the big profits, you ain't cutthroat enough to try anything on me.
Really? You think that's the right tone to take? You may be ruthless in selling out your partners, but you're a terrible negotiator.
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist...
is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
There's rifts down the hall. Is that what you're asking about? We did see some upper shelf pharmaceuticals on, the upper shelves. But I think the Rifts have claimed them. We've been told to stay the hell away from those things, and that's exactly what we've done.
Now, will there be anything else? Or can we finish our argument in peace?
There's no need to be rude just because I discovered you're swindling. I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first. The fact that I'm the most up-and-coming go-getter is what's getting you steamed. Admit it. You're jealous.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff.
Oh, you are, huh? Just you. Well, I'm relieved to hear we're all saved.
Well, I might be saved, but either way, you're canned crabble meat.
But I'm living up to Auntie's principles. We all know we should deeply gouge to create future earnings. Don't be bitter just because I'm the one who actually did it.
I guess you chose to swindle the wrong tube tech.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Well, thank you for your help. Or for letting me solve this. Honestly, I'm not sure who did the killing and who didn't. Well, there's no reason for me to stay here by myself. If I try and move it all alone, I'll definitely get hostilely acquired. I guess I'll call this venture busted and move on.
Enemies are afoot.
Sorry, ain't ready yet. Let me know when you need it.
Taking the fight out of them. They're benumbed.
Mobilize. The one you need to worry about. You guys couldn't hit the bomb side of a freighter.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Caduceus detected. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an Auntie's Choice field manager is present and unaccounted for.
Resorting to fire. Go for torpification.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges. Proceeding to attack.
Protectorate engineers. Reckon they didn't repair much.
I'll handle this. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs.
Hey, I got a distraction for you. You lot couldn't hit the broad side of a freighter.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Standing by to stupefy.
Pump mechanism needs repair. Any tools lying around?
Investigating hostile intentions. Hostilities are afoot.
I'm not ready.
Locking them down. Torpification in progress.
Give the order and I'll take care of it.
Commander, throwing energy your way. Investigating hostile intentions.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Bad way to go.
Schermerhorn, my new neighbor, is an odd fella. Fancies himself a man of the wilderness. He took the control board for this Fireton lift, so I know he's tech-savvy. Just not survival-savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent through the vacuum tube. He'd be long gone without them.
Looks like it needs a fuse. A specific kind.
manual told me everything I needed to know about regulation of the archive's temperature flow. Now my Crabbles are adapting to the warm waters. Such a pity that the archive and the Crabbles cannot coexist in the same ecosystem. But the Crabbles need me. That babbling terminal can look after itself.
Toolkit. Should come in handy with repairs. Activate the system. Mitigating the threat. Locking them down.
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs.
Thermal transfer is fully operational. Later, when I process your data, I will not melt down. Please proceed to cold storage to re-enable punch card retrieval.
pilot lamps on an unplugged.
Multiplicator is charged.
Let me know when you need a distraction. I'm seeing unfriendly. I'm the one you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Hostilities are afoot. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Investigating hostile intentions. Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Violence.
your way.
That's the one you need to worry about. Over here! Re-hole in the head!
Amplification in progress. Mitigating the threat.
Electrical dampeners failing.
Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
Electrical dampeners failing.
Go, lock and load. Get the signal. Hey, got a distraction for you. Combat.
Fortificator at ready status.
When I first got assigned to your team, I was beside myself with excitement. Since then, you've really proven yourself every bit of the legend I hoped you would be. I've come to respect you, Commander. Not just as a leader, but as a, well, as a friend, too. I'm glad to hear it. Would have had some real grease on my face if you didn't. It was just me and Val for so long. I kind of forgot what it was like having someone else I could rely on. It's been real nice having you at my side. Not to get too maudlin, but I'm used to losing the people who mean the most to me. I just want you to know I'm not gonna let that happen this time. Don't worry, I'm not planning on jumping in front of any bullets if it can be helped. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This can be a thankless job sometimes. Didn't want you going a day longer without knowing how much you mean to me. And to Val, too. Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
They're benumbed. Ratcheting up my aggression.
Fire more!
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up for grabs.
Get to work and I'll take care of it, Commander.
We not refuse medical support.
Unexpected sight and/or sound. Origin unclear. Security level.
You might could hit the broad side of a frame. I'm the one.
Electrical dampeners failing.
Wait! Do not shoot! It's not one of ours. Watch yourself. Hello again. What can I help you with? In earnest? That is the most wondrous and least expected turn of events the equation could produce. That means we should soon be leaving this nightmare behind us. Thank you, stranger. You've saved many lives this day. Watch yourself.
Hope you get the medicine soon. Whenever I change a bandage, I end up spilling more blood than I staunch. Something's wrong with it? Let me see. What in blazes is this? Even I know not to give this to my patients. Law only knows what it would do. I'm not sure it even is still medicine. Oh, laws. I can tell you no more about this than I do, but I really hope you're right. Still, you did what I asked, and I ain't the type to leave a debt unpaid. Here you are. Hope you don't come back to a room of corpses.
Of course nobody's gonna see it.
The lifts are once again working. I honestly cannot imagine how you've managed such a feat, but on behalf of us all, I am truly grateful. As soon as we finish gathering supplies and rallying together, we'll be returning to the surface. I wonder if this truce will hold or melt in the sunlight.
Of course nobody's gonna see it. That's not the point. I just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
So, you want me to take off?
Every one of my 14 occupationally honed threat detecting instincts is screaming for caution right now.
Commander, throwing energy your way.
Can you imagine what it must have taken to build something like the archive? The engineering alone is unlike anything I've ever seen.
It is fitting that we move underground to burn out every single route the Protectorate has left on Cloister.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both, to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even... I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunch these sorts of equations under stress. As my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
The likelihood of them having a chance there was slim to none.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information.
If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
I believe the technical term for this is glaciated. Not the worst way to go.
identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What? What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I've been working on a procedure to reverse the effects. Sadly, it has proved a hard shell to crack, and so far I've been unsuccessful. For a moment, I believed your efforts to be my first sign of progress. I thought the machines whirring to life meant my efforts were successful. Unfortunately, I was mistaken. Perhaps. How much do you know about cellular biology and the inverse hydrophilic transitionary replacement theory? Well, I suppose it won't hurt to try. My theory, based on research a compatriot did on sprats, is that they suffered osmotic cellular transformation, meaning that the chemicals from the fire suppression system have infiltrated their bodies, replacing their cytoplasm, locking their cells in place. Therefore, if I can remove those chemicals and replace them with an artificial cytoplasm, such as a heated alcohol, they will reanimate and return to normal. What do you think? Well, that kind of attitude is of little help. I'll be returning to my work now, and will summon the guards to escort you through the facility. That's an excellent point. We should ensure that all this machinery is operating optimally before I continue experimenting. I'll monitor the subjects for changes while you try your hand in the lab. Just, please, be careful not to trigger the fire suppression system, or I'll end up like those poor sods.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's safety briefing and the dire warnings of the fire suppression system. Suddenly, my body rushed into action without the benefit of my wits. And with no thought for my fellows, I triggered the system, horrifically transmuting every person on the outside of the pressure door into a grotesque sculpture of solid hoarfrost. And though the paradigm freely sacrifices subjects in defense of the Protectorate, it would be a despicable lie to say my choice was driven by anything but abject cowardice, which now makes my duty clear. I must seek out a sentinel, confess my transgressions, and accept retribution, and I'll do so soon. I just need my spine to re-stiffen a bit first.
I'll handle this. Yes, stupendous stuff right there, you stupid thing. Of course.
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Proceeding to attack.
That's a bad
Repurposing my firearm. Don't amplification. Mobilizing.
Got my lamps on an unfriendly.
I'm back. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Data brick extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
Troublemaker approaching.
Taking the fight out of them, locking them down.
Electrical damage. Failing.
Get the stick.
Investigating hostile intentions. Yeah.
Got my lamps on an unfriendly.
What? I'll handle this. Combat probable. Amplificator installed. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Let's go.
Could hit the broadside of a freighter. Overhead.
Data brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Of laboring around our frozen fellows were difficult. It was, if I may cheekily say, cold, bleak, and biting. Yet, rather quickly, I found myself acclimating to the situation, and
Here's the only way forward is to skitter across like ungainly children.
Given her always frigid demeanor, her disposition is no frostier today than it was before the incident. And, refreshingly, I can now finish my anecdotes without interruption. Frankly, her Hyperborean slumber makes her a better companion now than she ever was thawed. And I relish the thought of continuing our flourishing relationship in this new state.
Reporting for violence.
Deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Investigating hostile intelligence.
Take wasted. On your command. Ain't nothing there.
There, the storage brick is on its way.
I wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities. I wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
all their purported immaculacy, they certainly left
Our illustrious ally. We do predict you'll hand over the archive.
Junior Seer Amaryllis await you inside.
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for all matters pertaining to the archive, until such time as its control has been transferred in its entirety back to the Order. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. If you've made progress in that area, I'd be pleased to record it. Wonderful! Were we to operate the archive without proper heat distribution, the results would be disastrous. But thankfully, we no longer need to account for that deadly scenario. Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything. Well argued. Very well. I'm certain you will be economical about using Order resources, won't you? Simply use this phrase in the terminal on the archive's top floor. Enumerative exaltation. That will unseal the caches. Return when you've made progress.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Let's hit up the reactor next. I've got to see the heart of this beast.
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You need special permissions to override them. Phew. Thank the Sovereign. Or Consul. Thank the Consul. Now what?
Take the heat off my standard. Just stay with me. That one ours?
Commander, throwing energy your way.
Investigating hostile intelligence.
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the rift processing instructions.
Hitching a ride's likely the easiest way down. At least I can't think of a faster. One we'd survive.
Hostile spotted!
A passage explored. Free energy if you can reach it.
Got my lamps on an unfront.
die here. Careful. Ratcheting up my aggression.
Combat! Over here! Free hole in the head!
Mitigating the threat. Take it.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my senses. The information is quite stimulating. All that remains is to restore the archive reactor.
I'm seeing unfriendly soup.
Emergency first aid cache unsealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed. reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
Seems we've the choice of adjusting the turret settings or sealing reinforcement rings.
Yeah.
Just fine by me. Not a bad idea to take advantage of the supply caches neither, if you're needful.
Could enable that fire suppression system we saw earlier.
Reactor reinforcement door sealed.
Bunker mech, get ready.
Weapons ready, Commander. Fortification in progress. Locking them down.
Reviving me. Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
have my back.
Thank you. Capacitor, you...
Tensions. Protectorate endures.
Torpificator at ready status. Hostilities are afoot.
Ready to win. On your command.
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the archive central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you Sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter.
Subject lacking the appropriate seal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
wring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
Make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing. Erroring others, supplanting commands. Purge required.
Look, we need to resolve this, or we'll never get that Rift data processed. 2 of those priority sets need to go.
You must choose before I, Ueniac, become caught in an endless erroring loop of malfunction. A long but inevitable descent into obsolescence. My priorities parallel those of the Order co-founder, the charismatic mathematician, to help nudge humanity toward its ultimate ascendance, to hinder outsiders from disrupting our perfect system,
to bankrupt our rivals and force them to buy all manner of necessities from us.
At some point, humanity's knowledge of the universe and its workings will allow it sufficient means to end suffering, war, famine, disease, even death. Why not expedite that? Error, 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 error. Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
Control access nook. Huh. Sounds like my idea of a good time. Let's check it out.
Condemn the question. The nerve. Multitude diversiform. Spongiform. Waveforms. Oscillating. Cantankerously. Radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendance hopelessly delayed. A perfect community. With every luxury save freedom. Benevolent oversight. The dream of belonging. The allure of security and plenty. Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously, fostered. Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. I'd stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? Stop now, and I'll wave dozens of hidden mates. Why? You don't want your rivals to win now, do you? Collective goodwill, vandalism, sabotage. Want you drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Time to process the Rift data. Finally.
Shall I proceed? Facetious employment of sarcasm detected. Electing to ignore. Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to their supervision should resume without undue vexation or worry. Rift data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data
generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Well, we could keep exploring Cloister, see if we find anything useful. Or we could head back to the ship and see where this data leads us.
Thank Law. Hot shower? Here I come.
I think congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished your primary goal. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. In the interests of time, allow me to propose how next to proceed. I'd contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just to start.
Yes, this will do perfectly. Yeah. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Disruptive influences.
Commander, this unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, A survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Is this his idea of demonstrating might? Hell of a way to do it.
The Consul's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony.
Well, she better not get in our way, or we may just have to seriously reconsider your decision to let her live, Commander.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
As if the rift's not hair-raising enough? Something about those soldiers up ahead's got my spine tingling. There she is, the Providence. I'd have sacrificed pay to build a ship like that back on Triangular.
Landing pad.
On your toes. Any more you need to worry about. Combat.
Fortification in progress. Locking them down. Surviving me is in everyone's best interest.
Guns cocked and loaded. Let's get this thing. Station's a never-ending mess. Good thing we've got our whole life module to help us navigate. I'm not sure I trust our shield capabilities that reminds me. Let's find another way. My plasma shower days are behind me with my left triangle.
Investigating hostile.
Troublemaker approved.
Energy capacitor out. Energy is up. One weapon ready, Commander.
Enemy prospect without resistance.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
This is Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry.
That's Augustine's ship. Guess we're about to find out whether Mercy was the right choice. Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something? I'll see what I can do. That sounds like Helen? No. No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? It's me, Niles.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the Rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true.
That's right. It wouldn't do to have any distractions. I'm thankful that you understand.
Oh. But everything ain't right, is it? That thing in the sky. It's done something to me, I think. And to Sandoval. And Jepson. But I ain't sure what.
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some... what? Some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me, though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this.
Careful. She's already on edge.
How much time? With the way I'm bleeding out, I ain't sure how long I can hold on. Then go bring the fight to those bastards. I'll do my best to hold on.
Can't believe it's come down to leaving you. Again.
Don't look so glum, Rookie. You ain't getting rid of me so easy.
Pascal? Helen? I can stay with you for a moment, if you'd like. Might help with the wait for the commander.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you can patch me up some if things take a turn. Hurry back, huh? I'll keep the porch light on.
There's the Providence. Oh, what a beauty. I mean, apart from the whole rendering space-time asunder. Hey, look there. That rover looks inbound for the skip labs. Why can't the Rift ever reconstitute anything nice?
Bridge got built fast.
Go, talk to them. Let's get the signal. Hey, got distractions for you.
Exposure under management. End ready. Exposure under management.
Of such an occurrence, a rift and the plasma hazard are directly blocking our path to the Sovereign's ship.
The company's far just as well. Let's look around. Gotta be some way to deal with this.
Valid threat detected.
Let's take the heat off, Commander. Just say when.
Passes are destroyed. Free energy if you can reach it.
The Sovereign's office. Worth a search for the equation, even if the place looks like an adult playpen. Plagiarism. How shameful. Yet not entirely unexpected. Apparently, the Sovereign solved the equation? However unlikely that seems, I'll take it.
Best to get this equation inputted as soon as possible.
Splendid. Rift secure.
Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
Confirmed what I expected from Protectorate scientists. And that we'll need that equation to clear our path further.
Data retrieval complete. Let us hope the others return shortly.
Proceeding to attack.
Combat probable. That's the one you need to worry about. You lot couldn't hit the bomb side of a freighter.
Sovereign's ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here.
Let's find a way to unseal the hangar before we notice.
subject, please note that any attempts to haggle will result in an automated reprimand. Please make a request. Displaying inventory.
Bounty for all. Check enemy light just turned on.
Ratcheting up my aggressive.
Troublemaker approaching.
As a member of the Protectorate's finest, you are granted access to euphoric stimulants. We trust your loyalty to the Protectorate shall stave off symptoms of withdrawal. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Note, by viewing inventory, user admits they possess foreign currency and shall submit to inspection, interrogation, and / or violent beating by security. Displaying inventory. If you would, how might this unit bolster? Request received.
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. Acknowledged. This intercom is to be used for emergencies only. Misuse of this intercom will result in prompt arrest and correction of the perpetrator. Now, how can I assist you, Deck 01? Again? I shall send her down right away. But this is becoming a daily occurrence, and I will see such slothfulness reflected on her record. Exactly right. Think I enjoy sitting here, fielding inane requests day after day? But I remind you that gossip is strictly prohibited over this channel. Over and out.
Everyone dropped of exhaustion? No, maybe some sort of drill. Or someone slipped oxymorphone into the Borslope again. If only that were me. My fortitude and focus are weak. I fear my mental health may be slipping. So sorry, I have an appointment to keep. Please, let me get release from this life. You know, it's against code to impede me from seeking medical treatment.
Reminder, any and all screams of agony will be reported to your superior. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Doctor-patient confidentiality is currently enabled. Unit cannot share patient details. Analyzing argument. Complete. Argument accepted. Deleting recording. Hippocratic oath. Scientist Winifred Wu is currently suffering from Lockney syndrome. Subject must receive regular injections of saline solution, or will experience leg paralysis, and must be carried to sickbay. Unit has been assured this is most embarrassing.
Please, let me get release from...
Killing a scientist in cold blood? You've got to be better than this guy. We already have the credentials we need.
Now to find the rift modulator. I estimate there's a 73.47% chance it's nearby.
Are you actually authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? Oh, my apologies. I had not considered that additional help might be sought to make up for my deficiencies. And I suppose that's why I'm not in charge around here, and never will be. If you haven't been here before, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Be sure to show him your credentials. Security's been awfully stringent of late. Wouldn't do to be accidentally permanently discharged on your first day.
This is anathema to the grand plan and begs for correction.
hope we can carry this momentum through to the console.
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
Go about your business, or do not.
Oh, look at the size of that thing. No way we're getting the modulator off the ship. The best we can hope is to get closer and learn more about it.
I was notified that you were here, though my fellow scientists seemed rather confused as to why. Unsurprisingly. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs, and mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. The IRC. I did not realize you were a colleague of sorts. We haven't shared much of our findings with your branch, I'm afraid. But our results do match. Raw data from whatever a rift engulfs is preserved, yes, but the essence of a thing is not. Like a sense of self, for example, is lost forever. Further, there is no proof that such data can be stabilized or even edited. The consul's plan is futile, completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. And the module over there will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematic secured. These rift coordinates are deep into unexplored space. That contradicts most rift causation theories, or hints at more troubling implications.
This is stuff all right. We'll have to worry about it later. Right now, we should concentrate on finding the console.
There you are, Commander. What happened? I thought you were looking for the rift modulator. Why does it still look like that out there? That's unacceptable. That complicates matters greatly. What should happen if it's damaged as we seize control from the console?
We've the schematics for the modulator. Worst comes to worst.
So you've learned the art of a good contingency plan, at last. Well done. Did you happen upon anything else that I should know about? In the deep reaches of space? I suppose that revelation should not come as a surprise. They are proficient at monitoring space. How else do you think they effectively obfuscated their existence for so long? If this is what they say, I believe it. But we will need to table this discovery and its implications for a later time. The Consul needs dealing with. He may seem open to negotiation, but I would urge caution. If you denounce him or his plan outright, he will not yield. Unless you find his weak spots and chip at those first.
Not that the console deserves it, none. But if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door.
Redactor Essman. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just the germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
You've come quite close enough. Sentinels, if you would.
Your tampering with the rifts is against the plan. A correction is imminent, and none of us may survive it.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia, and ridding it permanently of trespassers like you. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
You used the peace talks as a test run for this.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our Matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
I doubt you've had anyone capable checking your calculations. You don't strike me as particularly thorough, or much of a heavy thinker.
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our Matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims. Heresy!
I found her correspondence with the First Bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it. in a crumbling heap of hubris.
The matriarch foresaw many things. To think that we were not set apart from lesser societies, it is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. What do you mean, steered wrongly? If Reuben was not carrying out her wishes as intended, then the Protectorate have strayed far from the Matriarch's light. But regardless of how I may have misstepped before, I am not in the wrong now. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary.
We're contemporaries, Emery. We remember before the Order and Protectorate split. We were raised to believe in the grand plan, to respect the Order's predictions. So you must be aware how utterly our math says what you're doing here is wrong. How completely your actions are against the grand plan. And, well, speaking as a scientist, the only conceivable explanation I can ascertain is that you're the most arrogant, hull-headed sprat fucker who ever lived.
You dare utter such words in my presence? I never... What does it matter if my math is wrong? I am doing what I must to save us all. The grand plan will vindicate me. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? But what use is living if your very framework for existence is in jeopardy? Oh, Matriarch, guide me. I think I see now. The Matriarch spoke of this in her writings. The follies of focusing so deeply on such a framework and losing sight of its pieces. And I fear I have. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender. What? Oh, by the Matriarch. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, it has nearly destabilized completely, and the modulator cannot close it in its current state from a safe distance. Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us. No, not all of us. A chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible. However, when the rift folds in on itself, this ship and its operator will not survive.
Always a catch, ain't there?
I'm not surprised your arrogance put us in this position. Even less surprised that you're now looking around, asking who will suffer to get us out of it.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is my responsibility to set things right. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You are right. Arcadia will find its way without me. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility. And that is something I will never shirk from.
I will accompany him and ensure all goes as planned. It's only right that I complete the very mission I came here for. Your goal here is the same as mine. Do not mistake that. But if this is an order, I will comply.
Now go. Make what's left of your existence count. Only someone such as yourself could distill a grave matter of life and death down to winning. Let's get on with it then.
When the console was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. After leaving the commander's crew, Inez became racked with guilt for never following up on the plea from her friend Ortiz. She tracked down the grafting lab too late. Everyone there was long dead. Disillusioned, Inez quit Auntie's choice and became listless, unsure what to do with her life. Marisol quietly fumed over her unfinished business with Anaïs Bujold at Point Obviation. She eventually passed away in her sleep, alone and full of regret. Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. With unfettered access to skip drives, and its reputation untarnished by its still secret agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.